Hello, everybody. Welcome to our VA Savvy's live stream. Today, I'm going to be talking about the three biggest mistakes that I see new virtual assistants make. So, I have been teaching VAs now since 2016, which is crazy. It's my 10-year Savvyversary. And over this time, I've been able to really see the VAs who come out the gate and just bust it, right? I mean, they're getting clients, they are signing people up for their monthly retainers, and I've been able to see the people who struggle, honestly. And my team and I have gathered together and we said, what's the difference, right? What really is the difference between those VAs who make it and those who kind of fall to the wayside. And so that's what I'm going to be sharing with you today are the three big things that I've been able to see makes a big difference. So I hope that you are excited. I hope that you're ready for that. But since you guys are here live with me, I always like to hear from you guys first. So I want to hear from you one big celebration. If you guys don't know already, we love to celebrate here at the Virtual Savvy. We're big party people. And so we want to celebrate your wins. In fact, every single Wednesday over on Instagram, you can go follow the Virtual Savvy on Instagram, and you'll see that we have a Wednesday. Get it? Like we share our wins on Wednesday. And so every single Wednesday, go on there and see and celebrate people just like you who are making huge strides in their business. So go ahead, if you're joining me live, or maybe even if you go back and catch the replay, I'd love for you to comment below with a win that you've had. Maybe you've made a really big bold decision in your business. Maybe you've decided to actually launch this business, or you chose your prices or your packaging or your name. Maybe you signed a client or had a big discovery call this week. Let me know in the comments below what your big win is so we can celebrate it with you. Oh, Mercedes says, happy Savvyversary. Thank you. Thank you. I can't believe it's been 10 years. I love this. I love getting to hang out with you guys. I love the transformations. I love celebrating again. Just this past week in one of our Savvy calls with our students, I'm just going to shout her out by name. A big shout out to Becky Poole, who had been struggling to get clients, and then she just kept at it. She just didn't give up. She kept working the system. And eventually, right, when you keep working the system does work. And she not only signed one new client, but I believe today she has another call. So shout out to Becky, because I love stories like that as well. Anna is launching her business this week. Hello, I love it. You are deciding on a niche, doing some project-based jobs. I love it. Oh, and had one of Kelly had one of her favorite clients come back with a new project for her to work on. I love it. So exciting. Every win, big or small, take the time to celebrate it. I am guilty of not doing that enough sometimes. So if I'm being totally honest, is sometimes I will just like, oh yeah, there's that win. And then I just jump on to the next challenge. But we need to celebrate. We need to take time to actually sit in those wins and feel them and experience them. And hey, go get yourself a coffee, right? Or go get yourself a massage or something, right? For that big win that you just experienced. Okay, let's jump in because we have a lot to cover. And I always like at the end of these live streams to do a Q&A. So if anything that I'm asking sparks a question, go ahead and drop it in the comments below, because I want to be sure at the very end of this training to spend some time answering those questions. Okay, so what are the three biggest mistakes that new VAs make? Well, we're going to jump into that in just a second, but I basically I want to know, and if this is you, I want you to write power in the comments below. How many of you decided like this is going to be my power year? Like this is just gonna be my year. Even on a call yesterday with some of our Savvy students, I'm hearing like, all right, this is it. Like this is the year I quit my job. This is the year I go full time in my VA business. Like, have any of you just decided this is my year, right? Power in the comments below if this is your power year. If you've decided that this is going to be your power year and that you're going to go full speed ahead, it's my job to help prepare you for that, right? Like I take it upon myself to let you know, as someone who's been there, done it, who has helped literally 7,000 individuals in our signature program, the Savvy System. I've helped them through this process. I'm here to tell you what you're going to face, okay? Would you like that? I would have liked that when I was first getting started, right? One of the ways that I can do that, it is in our upcoming challenge. So we do have a free 3-day challenge coming up. It's next week. It's this upcoming Tuesday. We already have over 2,000 of you guys registered to attend. Totally free. You're going to want to be there live if at all possible. It is at thevirtualsavvy.com/challenge. We're literally going to help you build your business in these 3 days. So we're going to talk about carving out the time for your business. We're going to choose your services. We're going to choose your rate. We're going to create your packages, and we're going to talk all about marketing in 3 days. So literally, like, we're setting up your business in these 3 days, and it's going to be just jam-packed. We always get such great feedback. Janine, this is absolutely one of the best trainings I've participated in, both free and paid, and it's totally free, right? I've learned it more in 2 days than I have learned in months of long courses. So I'm telling you, you want to be at this challenge. So if you're not already in the challenge, go to thevirtualsavvy.com/challenge. If for some reason you can't make it live, yes, there will be replays, but I definitely encourage you to be there live if you can. Okay. Let's jump in because I'm too excited. I want to start covering some of this material. Okay, so mistake number one. What's the first mistake that I see so many VAs making when they're first getting started? Well, number one is that they think they need to have everything perfect before launching. Do I, hand raisers, anybody here have that perfectionistic tendency? Yes, I'm raising my hand too, because I definitely can tend to hyper fixate on the things that I need to just get ready. We like to, we were talking about this morning, even in our team meeting, we like to circle the start line sometimes, right? Where it's like, well, I just need a little bit more. Like I need to tweak my website, or I need to, work on my packages, or maybe I should choose a niche, or I just need to take one more course so I really know how to do XYZ, right? And we can get so focused on just making sure that it's all perfect and lined up that we don't actually go out there and start getting clients. Guys, if there's one thing that I can encourage you to do, it's to stop tinkering, stop learning, and start building relationships with real people, real humans. In the age of AI, we have to get out there and we have to talk to real humans about our business. I want you to, yes, create a Facebook page. I think that's great, right? But you can spend hours and hours and hours making it perfect and doing another new cover image and changing your title again and doing all the things. Or you could spend that same amount of time and go through and invite every single one of your friends to like your Facebook page, right? Which is going to have more of a result. Number two, because it has to do with people knowing about your business, right? You can tinker your packages one more time, or you can go and actually attend a live networking event. You can shake the hand of a real business owner, right? You can go and look at a bunch of job ops and go ahead and decide why you're not good enough for them and get in your head and just research. Or you could choose one job op that you think maybe I could get this one. And then you go all in, you show value first, and you really do it. You apply for a job up and you give 110%, right? Do you see the difference? And I think that so many of us just get stuck in this, well, I got to do a little bit more just to make it perfect before I'm ready. And the reality is, guys, is that we're never going to feel ready. The best way to feel like I can do this is to go out and just do it. Okay. So are any of you, oh my goodness, Angela, it's like, this is me. This is part of the reason why I haven't started yet. And I get it. Right. And I know this because, again, hello, 7,000 VAs trained, been doing this 10 years. I know my people. I know this is who we are, savvies. We are perfectionists. It's why we're going to do excellent work for our clients, right? So it's a good thing that we value excellence, but we can't let that value of excellence turn into procrastination, turn into not actually getting out there and marketing ourselves. Okay. So, can we make a commitment today? I'm going to take imperfect action. In fact, if there's one imperfect step that you could take today, what would it be? And hopefully, it's something that tells someone about your business. Okay. Post it on your Facebook page. Go ahead and do it. Post it in a local networking group. Tell that business owner that you have an email draft saved, but you actually haven't hit send yet. Today is the day to hit send. Okay. Awesome. Here at the Virtual Savvy, we value action over perfection. And I will say it over and over and over again until we all can just embrace it. The best way to have motion, forward motion, is imperfect action. Okay. Oh, I love it. I gave my dentist manager my business card yesterday. I love it. I love it. Yeah. We just got to tell people, because here's the thing, is that if you don't just start telling people, no one's going to know. If you do start telling people, then the more people you tell, because if you know one business owner, everyone you know knows one business owner. So even if you're just telling friends and family, you're like, they're not my ideal clients. No, that's okay, because they likely know one person who is a small business owner. So you just got to start telling people this exists. I'm here, right? That's your very first step when it comes to marketing. Okay, let's move on to mistake number 2. After training all these VAs, what are the mistakes that I see people make? Well, when we do finally get a client, we're so excited and we're so eager that we don't set up super clear boundaries. Okay. Yes. How many of you guys have your first client already? We probably have a few here. I know my live streams usually have a lot more newbies because our students are on like our private live streams and stuff. But if any of you have a client already, I'd love if somebody posted in the comments kind of, did you experience this, or did you set good boundaries in the beginning? Let me know. Even in the replay, you can post below kind of your experience here. But I see this happen a lot, where we just get so excited that it's like, well, I don't want to like seem like I'm not available. So, even though they emailed me back at 2 a.m., I'm going to go ahead and email them back at 2:30. Like, I'm going to respond right away, right? Or I said I wasn't going to give out my phone number, that we would only communicate via email and Slack, but I'm going to go ahead and do that, right? Or, well, they I was gonna charge for our initial onboarding meeting, but I don't know. I don't really feel like I should charge them for that. So I'm not really gonna do that, right? And maybe we don't set the boundary from the beginning, or maybe we set it, but then we kind of pull back on it. Either way, I definitely uh May is saying this. I don't want to disappoint them, so you just agree to everything. Yes, and so trust me, guys, it is better for you and it is better for them to communicate really, really clear boundaries. Has anybody read the book Boundaries from Henry Cloud? Oh my gosh, game changer of a book. If there's one to put on your reading list, this is definitely it, especially if this is an issue that you deal with, which again, raising my hand, I'm right there with you. It's okay. I've learned from experience. But I love this quote. So it's a little lengthy, but stick with me. Boundaries define us. They define what is me and what is not me. A boundary shows me where I end and someone else begins, leading me to a sense of ownership. Knowing what I am to own and take responsibility for gives me freedom. Taking responsibility for my life opens up many different options. Boundaries help keep the good in and the bad out. Setting boundaries inevitably involves taking responsibility for your choices. You are the one who makes them. You are the one who must live with their consequences. And you are the one who may be keeping yourself from making the choices you could be happy with. Okay, here's what I like about this is because number one, I'm like, hey, Cloud, you're just out here calling me out, aren't you? It's like, if you are in an unhappy place in your life, it's because you made that choice a lot of times. Okay. I'm not saying that like things don't just happen sometimes, but essentially a lot of the times, like we find ourselves in bad situations because we just didn't communicate clearly, because we didn't set a boundary and say, this is what I'm going to do and this is what I'm not going to do. This is what I'm going to hold responsibility for and this is what I'm not going to hold responsibility for. I do it right now. Literally, there's like a boundary my husband and I have been talking about with our kids, that we're like, okay, we have got to set this boundary because we wake up 4 days a week. My kids only go to school 4 days a week. Super stressed, super stressed 4 days a week. And do you know why? It's because we don't make our kids pack their own lunches the night before. And it's not like we've said we're going to, but then like we just kind of forget and they forget, and then we wake up in the morning and it's like bah, and I, and so we're like scrambling every morning to make lunches to get the kids out the door, and it's like, no, our kids are 10 to 12. They need to make their own lunches. But I have put myself in this situation because I have not set a clear boundary and said, I'm not going to do this anymore. Right? Like, from now on, if you want lunch, you make your own lunch. Or I got peanut butter crackers that you can have that I'll throw in your bag. Like, that's a really clear boundary, right? And so, like, mental note, my husband's watching this, babe, starting tomorrow, we're gonna have the talk tonight with our kids. They're making their own lunches from now on. It's their responsibility, right? But it's like, where do I end and someone else begins? And that will give me a sense of ownership, them a sense of responsibility, and it's all just about communication. So how do we communicate? We have to decide what our boundaries are in the first place, and then we have to communicate them really well. And this is why I believe a contract is so 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 vital, guys. If you are not working, if you do any work with a client, please use a contract, even if it's a one-time project. It just sets those super clear boundaries. Here's where I end and you begin, right? Here are the boundaries. And I think that's really important. I also really encourage you to do an onboarding meeting, especially if this is a monthly reoccurring client, which is what we want, right? We want you guys having monthly reoccurring income if at all possible. So sign the contract, make sure you guys both understand the contract, but then have a meeting where you go over, hey, these are my working hours. Here's, I try to respond to emails within 24 hours, right? If you want something done in less than a 24-hour time frame, then I do add on a 10% rush fee. And then when it happens, enforce it, you guys. I'm telling you, because again, it's like my kids with the lunch boxes. I've told them, but if I don't enforce it, it doesn't mean anything, right? And so you've got to enforce it, especially in the beginning. And I know that it's hard because, just like I think it was May saying earlier, like, you don't want to disappoint them, so you agree to everything. But we have to remember, clear is kind. It is not unkind to set clear boundaries. It really isn't. It's just clear communication, which actually helps both of you. So, yes, 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 yes. So good. Let me see. Is the book by Henry Cloud? Yes, Henry Cloud, Boundaries. Really good book. Okay. We'll keep moving on because I want to make sure we have time for Q&A. So here is the third mistake that I see happen often, is that we just try to go out alone. We don't get accountability. We don't get support. And here's the thing, without support, it is much, much, much less likely that you're actually going to have success. That's just reality. Support can look a lot of different ways. Support may be a local networking group that you join. How many of you guys are involved in local networking? I love local networking. I know I'm an extrovert, so for me, I'm like, yes, sign me up. I want to be around people. Sometimes I just leave the house and go work at a coffee shop because I just like to be around the energy of a bunch of different people, right? But maybe you have a local networking group, or maybe you just have one. Our introverts are like, how about some one-on-one time, not a big group? That's fine, right? One-on-one time with a friend. You meet weekly with a friend and you just get together and you talk about business, and you, at the end of the meeting, you say, all right, here's what I'm committing to the week for the week. What are you committing to for the week? And then the next week, you actually ask each other if you did that thing, right? It is a game changer when you have accountability like that in your life. Maybe it is your spouse or a Facebook group, right? Like our VA Savvy communities, investing in a course or a coaching program. That's, I think we've kind of we've kind of dripped this to you guys, but we have completely redesigned the Savvy system. I'm so excited. We're launching it at the end of next week. It is no longer just this like, hey, this lifetime access course. You can kind of come and go and start and whenever feels good to you. It's a 90-day accelerator with weekly coaching calls where we are holding you guys accountable because we want you to launch your business and land a client in 90 days. Like that's our goal. Let's take this like talk and turn it into action. Let's get away from just learning, consuming mode, and let's get results. Let's take real action. And so joining some kind of a course or a coaching program like that can be really helpful as well, because what I have seen and what I've seen not only from the people that we've trained but my own business as well, right? Anytime that I've had significant growth in my business, guys, it's because I've joined some kind of a course or a coaching program. Like I practice what I preach, right? Like I am always involved in some kind of coaching to better myself. I'm always being held accountable by someone. I literally have a meeting tomorrow with my coach who's going to say, did you do the thing you said you were going to do? Right. And so you have a blueprint, you have accountability. That's what actually equals success. These stats absolutely blow my mind. Okay. Especially like we're in the new year, we're making goals, and maybe you made a bunch of goals last year that didn't actually happen. You're like, I don't know if I even remember. Did I make a New Year's resolution? Right. I don't care if you're a resolution person or not. Most of us have goals. And so whether you kick them off in the new year, I don't really care. I love it because I love a clean start. I'm all about New Year's resolutions. Some people are like, I hate them. I'm like, I love them. Fresh start. Let's go. But the last 2 years, I've actually crushed it on my goals, right? And how did I do it? It was accountability and support, right? Biggest thing for me was like health and fitness. That's where like things were just, I was really struggling. So I said, enough is enough. I'm getting accountability. I'm getting support, right? I'm going getting my butt to a trainer 3 days a week because this is important to me. Like I had to get the support. So here's what happens. 10% probability of completing your goal if you just have the idea. So if you say, I would like to start a business this year. That's a cool idea. You have a 10% probability of actually doing it. That means there is a 9 in 10 chance that you won't actually achieve that goal. Now, if you consciously decide, you're like, you know what? I have this idea and I'm going to do it. Like I'm going to do it. And you just like make a decision. You write a little sticky note and you put it on your desktop. Complete this goal. Do it, right? Drink more water, whatever it is, whatever your goal is, right? You just consciously decide, I'm going to do it. Now you have a 40% probability if you decide when you will do it. So that means you carve out the time, right? I'm going to meet my accountability partner every single Friday at 10 a.m. And that time is going to be committed to actually achieving it, right? 50% probability of completing your goal if you plan how you will do it. Okay. So that's like what we like to do with the Savvy system is we give you the step-by-step guide of like, here's how you do it. Here's the plan, right? Here's how I'm going to achieve this goal. 65% probability of completing your goal if you commit to someone else, you will do it. So there's where that accountability partner comes in, right? But then listen, okay, this is like the creme de la creme. 95%. So you literally only have a 5% chance of failing if you have a specific accountability appointment with a person you've committed to. How crazy is that? So we can go from like, there's a 1 in 10 chance that I will actually do this to there is only a 5% chance that I will fail. Like those odds are insane. And all it takes is us deciding when and how we'll do it and committing to a person and having accountability with them on a regular basis. Like that is the difference maker. Isn't that insane? Like that absolutely blew my mind. And it just changed my whole mindset of like, what am I doing with my goals? Like, why have I not achieved certain goals in the past? Because I didn't have accountability. Let's be honest. And then going forward with like creating our programs, we're like, we just got to build this in. Like we want massive success, because we have so many students who have had massive, massive, massive success, built six, seven-figure agencies, replaced their full-time incomes, quit their jobs. I mean, the amount of stories we have is insane, you guys. However, we still have a lot of people who just don't cross the finish line. And the reason is, I believe, is because we're like, just kind of get to it whenever. And we're like, no, no more accountability, weekly coaching. Like, you need a plan, you need accountability. We're going to give that to you, right? I love, again, I mentioned some of the results. I think of like Kaylee, who said, it's been 1 year. I stumbled upon Abbey. I found out about virtual assistants. A year later, I run a VA and OBM agency. Like, what? I seriously always tell my family I had no clue this is a path I'd be going down, but here we are. Pinch me. I'm literally living my dream life. I want to share my win. It's been 30 days since I tried being a VA. I have a client who I love. From studying full-time and working full-time to studying full-time and working part-time as a VA, I've quadrupled my monthly salary. I've just finished module 7, finishing up this weekend to launch my business next week. I have all the systems in place. I'm ready to hit the ground running. I'm thankful for this community. You guys notice they all mention the community. That's helped me so much of getting this done. And then Vanessa, who says, thanks to this community and course, I've secured my highest paying retainer client to date. She's dreamy and a joy to work with. I absolutely love these stories. Can we give a big shout out to all of our savvies who are just making waves? We're so proud of you guys. So if you're looking at this and you're like, I want that, right? I want the plan. I want the accountability. Come to the challenge. I'm giving you the plan. Like, I'm going to give you the blueprint at this challenge. We're going to do it together. You just got to commit. I'm going to commit to be here on these 3 days, commit to be there at 12 o'clock next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It will be awesome. I mean, literally, we're going to lead you guys step by step through the process. Okay. So good. I love it. Let's do this. Let's do a Q&A time. So I like to do this at the end of these live streams, just to give you guys, 10 or 15, 20 minutes, however long we need to take, just to pick my brain, right? Like, where is it that you're getting stuck? If you look at where you're at in business and where you want to be 6 months, 12 months from now, what's standing in the way? Is it a fear that you have? Is there an actual, like, I don't know how to do this, or I'm stuck at this point? Let this be an opportunity to get unstuck. Go ahead and drop your questions in the comments. Even if you're coming back and watching the replay, you guys know that my team and I actually jump in and answer these comments even after the fact. So go ahead and post below, even if it's later. But for those of you who are live, I love this opportunity just to talk with you live here. So let me answer a few questions here. Let's see. Sorry, I scrolled back up to the beginning. Oh, I want to add my calendar, the challenge. So yeah, so the challenge will be about an hour each day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Thursday, you may want to block off 90 minutes. That one, it usually goes a little longer just because we do like a crazy extended Q&A, but roughly an hour each day is good. Okay. This is a great question. So Priscilla asked, should I promote live before I have an offer? So you're asking, like, should I tell people about my business before I have everything ready, before I have anything to send them? Okay. My answer is yes. Now, some people don't, and I get it. However, here's why I say yes. I don't think it's ever too early to get that marketing ball rolling. I don't think it's ever too early to start telling people about your business, even if you're at the beginning stages, right? So I was literally just on a call with a friend right before this live stream, and we were talking about, she is wanting to start offering some like local fitness coaching. Like, she loves fitness and all this stuff, and so we were just like kind of just chatting and talking about that. And so I was like, why don't you just go ahead and go on your Facebook page now and say, I'm thinking about doing some personal training and like fitness accountability coaching. So like health coaching, but virtual. Is that something people would want? Or what, how did we phrase it? I'm trying to remember now. What do you guys think of this idea? Any experience shares or things that you've seen that you've liked or haven't liked? I would love. I would love to hear about, right? So she was like, oh, I really like that because it's not like I'm just selling. Like, hey, I have 3 spots to blah blah blah. Now I do think that that is very effective too, and I think that that can come later. She's like, but this is cool because it kind of teases the idea. You may right away have somebody that's like, oh my gosh, I need that right now, right? I'm thinking about starting a virtual assistant business. Like, curious if you guys have any experience shares on, you know, uh, or if you've worked with a VA before, I'd love to hear your experience. That's it, right? Just tease it out there, just drop it out there just a little bit, right? You may right away get people that are interested. And here's the cool thing, like, sometimes we're like, oh, but what if? What if I get someone that's interested? Okay, what if? Well, you just told them that you don't have it all set up yet. So it's okay. Take a breath, but say, hey, I love if they're like, I would hire you right now, be like, oh my gosh, thank you. Let's schedule a call for next week, like next Wednesday. And here's what I'm going to do, I'm going to get my stuff together and I'm going to have something to share with you on Wednesday. I may not have it all built out by then, but I'm going to have something, right? And then binge the Virtual Savvy YouTube channel, right? And get as much of it in place as possible, or come to the challenge and be like, Abby, what else do I need to do? And we'll get you set up. Okay, maybe actually make your call for next Friday. That's what you'll do, because you'll have the 3 days and then you'll know what to do after the challenge starts. So just say, hey, yes, let's get on a call next Friday. It's like, what's the worst case scenario if they do say yes, I want to work with you? Here's what's going to happen. It's going to put a fire under your butt to make it happen, right? And this is what I'm talking about, action over perfection. So much that confidence and just the like, I got to get it done comes when you're just taking action. Okay. So I am a huge fan of telling people about what you're going to be doing before it's even ready. Man, I posted on Facebook that I was starting a VA business. However, I haven't really marketed myself further. So yeah, you got to think in marketing, guys. It normally takes 7 touch points to make a sale. Okay, so if you've just told people once that you're starting your business, that's not enough. So go ahead and post again on your personal Facebook page. Reach out to people. If you have a Facebook page, invite every single person you know to like your Facebook page, right? Attend a live networking event. Do some of the things that we've talked about, how to market. Get yourself out there. Apply to job ops. This is the difference, right? We're talking about the mistakes people make. These are the things that make people successful, is that action. Um, let's see. Oh, yay. I'm so glad that you are in the process of becoming to learning to be a VA and that you're enjoying the live stream. Okay, let's see. Next question is from Angela. I have a name, a niche, and I have put together my packages, yet I feel like I'm still not ready. And I know I need accountability. I have a 9 to 5, and I just don't know what to do next. So it's, you know what it is? We need the name for it. Maybe you guys can help me come up with a name for it. There's, here's what happens. We get, it's like, here's like marketing. Okay, here's where you're telling people about your business and you're actively marketing, and here's where you start. So you start and you're like, I chose my packages, I chose my rate, I, set up my systems, and I set up my contract, and I chose my name, and I did all the things. And then we get to the point where it's like time to tell people about our business and time to really start spending, I mean, an hour a day marketing. That would be the minimum, an hour a day. If you've got all this set up, then all you have to do now is marketing. Like, you're done. You did all of this. You don't need to do that anymore. So if you're spending an hour a day or 5 hours a week on your business and you were spending that much time doing this, it is now time to commit that much time to do marketing. But there's like this gap. There's like this, and what it is just confidence. That's all it is, right? It's this confidence gap that we have to like bridge the gap. We have to jump over that barrier and just say, I'm just going to do it scared. Like, that's it. Because you're not going to feel more confident until you just start working with a client. And I know that that sucks. Like, there's no other way to say it. Like, I know that it's hard, but like, another course isn't going to get you there. Like, redoing, like, learning more and more YouTube channels and more all the things isn't going to get you there. What's going to make you feel confident that you can work with a client is to go work with a client. It's just to get your first client, right? and you're going to get some no's. Like you're going to get some rejection in the process. You're going to get on a call and someone say, this is not for me. And that's part of it. And I know that that's hard, but you have to remember what's on the other side, right? The other side of getting clients is you having a flexible job, you getting to decide your working hours, you being in control of your income, and it's worth it. Okay. So it's like if we can just get you over this fear gap and just get you doing the thing. I made this example yesterday in our live call. I said, you don't go out and learn how to play basketball by just reading a book, right? Like I could not say I'm a basketball player. Well, I can't say that anyway because I'm not a basketball player. We have a hoop in our front yard and I ain't ever using that. That's okay though. I don't aspire to be a basketball player. So, but let's say I wanted to play basketball, right? I could read a ton of books on, I could watch YouTube videos on how to do drills and how to shoot and how to whatever. But until I just get out there and start doing it, I'm never going to get better. I'm never going to say I made my first basket until I go out there and actually try. So you've got to just go out there and do it. And there's really no other way around it. Okay. Oh, tough love, Abby, today. I hope you're getting like, I didn't know Abby was going to be mean today. Sorry. Just how it is today, I guess. Oh my goodness. Cheryl, I'm so sorry, but I see people all the time say this. I've been out of work since 99. I'm not sure what I'm able to do. I'm learning all about being a VA plus bookkeeping. Other than that, what do you mean? Like bookkeeping by itself. You do an entire business, it's just bookkeeping, right? Like you don't even have to do the VA part if you want. You can literally use the Savvy system and all of our stuff, and you just do your packages that are bookkeeping packages instead of virtual assistance packages, right? But I see this all the time where people are like, I don't have this experience, but you do, right? Like you're learning these things. Most of us can very, very quickly do the basic skills to be a VA, which is customer service, research, data entry, right? Answering like emails for people, calendar management. Those things are the simple tasks that small business owners need. In fact, guys, oh, I shouldn't tease this. I always see people who show up live, you guys get a totally different thing than everyone else. So when we launch our new Savvy system, guys, we are actually going to include our essential skills course, or this new course is going to include that so that we don't even have this excuse anymore, because it's like, okay, we'll just tell you how to do the 5 basic skills. Like they're easy. You can learn them and they'll be practice. There'll be like a way to practice those skills. We have assignments in there where it's like you're working with a real coach. So we got you. It's coming very, very soon. Okay. I know it's beneficial to join the local chamber of commerce. Unfortunately, that's costly for a new business owner. So normally, okay, I have so many thoughts, Gloria. So normally chambers of commerce will have free events. So maybe yours is different, but I would double check, and you can just call them up too and say, do you have any free events where business owners can come? Because that is, I know that ours has multiple, but even like one free event per month would be really good. There are free events on Facebook as well. So if you go into Facebook and you type in like business, right? And then go to events, like you filter by events, you can see any that are in your area. That's one of the ways, right? We always talk with your friends and family outreach. That is a huge, huge, huge first step. So yes, there's multiple ways to get clients. In fact, this upcoming challenge that we have going on, guys, is day 3 of the challenge is all about marketing. So I'm going to give you scripts and templates. I'm going to give you a step-by-step checklist of my favorite places to get clients and literally show you and guide you through where to find them. So do know that that is coming. Okay. And we're going to talk all about it. So that's one of my biggest recommendations is just join the challenge. Like we're going to talk all about getting clients. Okay. So good. Do you think there is a market for a young adult who's paying my way through college and doesn't have much applicable experience? Yes, yes. Oh my gosh. I love Elizabeth. I love seeing college students. In fact, so I don't know if you guys know this, but my husband and I were youth pastors for years when we lived in DC, in the DC area. And I thought there's one of the coolest stories. Okay. So we had, just one of our students decided, like, kind of caught on to what I was doing. And she's like, wait a second, let me tell you about this. I was like, okay, yeah, let me tell you about this. So she decided that she wanted to do VA work. Okay. Ended up moving to New York City, going to college. And it's like, this is like, I don't know why this story just made me like so happy. So she tells me one day, she's like, Abby, this is the craziest thing. Cause she didn't get a lot of clients. I think she got like just one or two. That's all she needed because she's full-time school. She just needed a little extra, right? So all of her friends are getting jobs at McDonald's or as waitresses or whatever. It's New York City in January. And she tells me, Abby, like all my friends are like leaving and going out in the snow and trudging to work to make like hardly any money. And I'm sitting here in my dorm room in my pajamas doing work for a client. And she's like, this is insane. Like all my friends are like, what are you doing? How did you do this? Right. And I absolutely love that. So yes, like do not let your age discredit you on either end. Those of you who think I'm too young, those of you who think I'm too old, no, like you have the skills that paying clients want, or you can learn them very, very quickly, even if you don't, right? Like, can you schedule something on social media? Can you go and you schedule a post? Can you take an email that somebody has written in an inbox and reply to that email if someone gives you the SOP of how to reply to the emails, right? Like, can you type? Can you research? Like these are basic things. And we think like, oh, would somebody really pay for that? But the thing is that you got to think about these business owners. What they're wanting to get rid of are the tasks that are easy. They're wanting to get rid of the tasks that they can hand off quickly to someone else because that's what's consuming their time. If I'm booking all my own flights and answering all of my own emails and going back and forth on somebody who wants to meet with me on the calendar and setting my own appointments, if I'm doing all of that, it's keeping me from doing the higher level tasks that I need to be doing as a CEO, right? So like we want to hand off these lower level tasks at the beginning, which is right where you should start, right? And I think that that's perfect. Now eventually you can learn higher level skills, and that's something that we teach you guys in Savvy Vault is how to learn higher skills, how to raise your rates, how to develop high end packages. And I love seeing you guys come in as general VAs and then you come out as, you know, a Pinterest manager or a copywriter or an Instagram manager or a real estate VA or whatever, right? Like this is the progression that we lead people through, but you got to start where you're at. Like be okay to start as a beginner, right? Okay, so good. Um, okay, for those of us struggling off without a niche or a strong skill set in one area, how do you suggest packaging a service that business owners need and find valuable? Okay, so Mercedes, I actually love this question because I think it's a reframe, honestly, because you're like, first of all, we don't have a niche. That's great. You will hear other people be like, the riches are in the niches. And I totally agree with that. Eventually, I want you guys to niche down. When you are first starting out, guys, the fastest way to get clients is to have your niche be small business owners. We forget sometimes that a small business owner is a niche, right? Like you're not serving everyone. You're not saying, hey, moms, hey, teachers, hey, nurses and doctors. You're saying, hey, small business owners. That in and of itself is a niche. And I think it's the perfect niche for most VAs to start in. Now, eventually you could niche down even more, right? And that's great. But most of us, let's just go ahead and keep the pool a little broader and tell any small business owner about what you're doing and what type of task work can you do. I wouldn't niche down by specialty either yet. I would do general VA work. So I can, just list out all the services, anything that you could do. Right now on my website, type in 101 or type in services virtual savvy, okay? And you'll find a blog where I have like 101 different services. Just pick 4 or 5, 10, however many you're like, oh, I could do that. Customer service emails, data entry, research, travel booking, appointment setting, scheduling social media, simple designs in Canva, right? Like, could you do any of those? List those out. And then you just do packages, okay? And this is all what we're going to cover in the challenge. So if this feels like a lot, like don't stress, I'm going to help you actually do it. But you sell a package 20 hours of virtual assistants for $600 a month, right? That's $30 an hour. It's monthly reoccurring revenue. What services? Any of those services that I listed are going to be included in those hours. Let's make it really, really simple in the beginning. You don't need to niche down by industry. You don't need to niche down to one specific service. Let's keep it broad. I love the story of Casey Neistat. Have you guys, like, one of the most famous YouTubers, right? And it's like, how did you get started? And how Casey Neistat got started is just by saying yes. Literally. I think it was him and his brother and a camera. Just anyone who needed them to do any project, he would say yes, right? Because what happens, guys, I don't want you to stay there forever. Okay. Hear me out. I'm not saying just say yes to crappy projects and say yes to anyone and all of that. Again, set boundaries, all the things. Yes. But remember that gap we talked about, the confidence gap? There's something very real that happens when you get paid to do work. When you start a business and you get that first paying client, even if it was like a really small project and it was $5 less than you really wanted it to be per hour, and it was all the things, there's still just something about it that's like, oh, this is real. Oh, and it's that confidence barrier that sometimes we need to go ahead and get more clients and get the confidence to raise our rates, to niche down all the stuff. So I like to get you guys, just get your first client, right? Let's get you your first client, and then we can focus on the niching down and all of that. Okay. So I hope that that is helpful. I can't access Facebook. Oh yeah, so we do have our big VA Savvies community, which is staying on Facebook. We also do in the Savvy system. The Savvy system has always historically had a Facebook group to go along with it. So that's our signature program. Savvy system teaches you how to launch your business, get your first client, all of that. That's always been in a Facebook group. That Facebook group is still going to exist for current members up until April, but we are switching the Savvy system to be a part of a Kajabi community. Kajabi is the course platform that we use. There's an app. It's a really nice platform. And so we're kind of testing that out. What is it like to have our community over there? So when we launch our new course in, oh, let's see, well, I forget the date, but it's this upcoming Thursday, I believe, is when we're going to open the doors to this new 90-day accelerator. The community is actually going to be hosted on, it's Kajabi, not Facebook. Okay. Um, Is it mandatory for an EA to have a portfolio? Is it a do or die thing? No, not necessarily. I do think it's a good way. I do think that you should have a way to showcase your work, right? So essentially, you want some kind of digital way that someone can be like, oh, yes. So some people do a website and skip the portfolio altogether. What I like to have people do is I like to have people do a portfolio instead of a website in the very beginning. Can you guys tell I'm all about low barrier to entry? Like, how can we get you a client as soon as possible? I have so many students who have sold out their services, completely booked, and never built a website. Now, again, do I think a small business owner should have a website? Yes, I think all small business owners should have websites eventually. But if it prevents you, because we're all perfectionists, I know my savvies, we're a perfectionist. And so often if we say, I'm going to build a website from day one that showcases all my services and everything like that, we can spend months and months and months trying to build that website instead of just getting clients. So I'm like, guys, let's, instead of a website, just build a portfolio. Here's the template. Okay, go, done, finish it in a day. Let's go get clients. Like that's my mentality, if you haven't noticed. So I do think it's a good idea to have that. So you could, instead of having a portfolio, you could have your Facebook page really built out with like images that shows everything that you do. But if somebody's like, I'd like to know more about your business, you need to have somewhere to send them or something to send them. Okay. That's why I like portfolios, but it's not like it has to be that. It just has to be something. It has to be like, other than like, oh, I'll send you an email from my abbyiscool@gmail.com, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. Okay. Where can I learn a new skill or refresh my skills without paying any money for a class? So y'all, it's the information age. You can learn so much online. Like you guys realize the era that we're in right now? Like we are in one of the luckiest times to start a business because anything you want to learn is available to learn YouTube, ChatGPT, anything you want to learn, right? Now, is it always a proven blueprint? No. That's why we give people the proven blueprint. But honestly, that's a big reason why we're changing our course. We're like, information isn't enough right now. Like, yes, we have a blueprint and our blueprints work. We give you templates that, like, a YouTube video or ChatGPT isn't going to give you like this fill in the blank portfolio template. Or I don't know if you've had Canva try to build you images, they're not pretty. Right? But it's like, yes, we have, of course, we'll have all the templates and we'll have all the things in that too. But the big thing is, guys, is that the online course industry is changing. I literally sent an email about this morning, that like people aren't just going to pay for courses anymore. Have you guys seen Amy Porterfield shut down her course? Jenna Kutcher's shutting down her podcast. There's like everyone shutting stuff down. Why? It's because the old way of doing things, sorry, I'm going to get on a rant on courses. Old way of doing things just isn't going to work anymore, because people are realizing we need more. We need more than just information, because you can learn information on YouTube. You can learn information on ChatGPT. We need accountability, right? We need someone in there in the trenches with us. We need people. In an age of AI, we need people more than ever, right? And so that's why we've completely shifted our, like, here's this self-paced course. You get access 90, or you get, lifetime access and all these templates and all these things. That's great, but it's just information unless you actually take action and have the accountability. And how do we get, where was that slide I had before? How do you get people from like a 90% chance that they're going to fail to a 5% chance that they can't fail, right? Like there's only 5% chance that I'll fail from a 90% chance that I'll fail. It's meeting regularly with accountability. And so that's why we're completely changing the Savvy system to where you're now going to have weekly coaching calls. It's a 90-day capacity. So it's like, you got to do it in these 90 days. Now we will give people extensions, right? We have 2 extensions that you can do, but because we know extenuating circumstances sometimes happen, but essentially we're like, you got a container, like, you're going to do it, or you in or you out. You're going to do it. Let's do it, and let's do it together. So I'm excited for that. I think that this new age of how we learn things online is just awesome. It's just awesome. Like, I literally ask ChatGPT things every single day, and it teaches me so many things, right? Yeah. I ask people my creative hobbies, how did you do that? My answer is always YouTube, right? I'm learning to paint right now. I'm into watercolors. Do you guys know that? I'm into watercolors now. I'm not very good, but I got some watercolors and I got paper, and I look at YouTube videos, and I am learning to paint because why not? So yes, there's so many resources. Obviously, we also have Savvy Vault for those of you guys who do want something that's specifically built for virtual assistants. It is, but again, Savvy Vault used to just be a tech membership. It used to just be, here's 60 plus tech and industry trainings. And that's still super valuable, right? Like, it's still super valuable to have those trainings, to have the templates, all of that. But the real value is that we have weekly coaching calls. The real value is me getting on a call yesterday with Huda and saying, all right, Huda, here's what you're doing and here's what you're not doing. Promise me today that you're going to do this, and I'm going to ask you next week if you did it, right? Like, that's the difference. Okay. Oh yes, Let's Make Art. I've been following Let's Make Art. That's awesome. Okay, you guys, thank you so much. This has been super fun, super fun. I always love hanging out with you guys. I hope that you get from me in these live streams what you were hoping to get, right? Like, I hope that you show up here and you find insane value. That's always my goal, is that you guys come here and you're like, that you, number one, find value, that maybe you learned something that you didn't know before, and that you're encouraged, that like, after talking to me, even if it's virtual, right? Like, I wish I could be in a real room with you and give you a hug and tell you you can do this, but this is the next best thing, right? Until I'm going to plan some meetups this year. I'm going to meet some of you guys and actually hug you in real life. But I hope that you like leave this feeling like you just had coffee with a good friend that encouraged you and told you you can do this, right? So I hope that's what you're leaving with today. And then if you haven't already, again, joined the challenge, it's going to be awesome. If you guys want to do me a favor, invite somebody. I mean, it's not really me a favor, it's them a favor, right? But if you know of somebody who would be just really you're like, oh my gosh, my friend would make such a good VA, invite them to the challenge too. Like the more the merrier. We're going to do this together. We're going to have an awesome time. It's going to be really, really good. So, okay, that's all I think I have for you today. Yep, that's my last slide. So, perfect. I will see you next week. The next time I see you will be day one of the challenge, which is going to be awesome. So, I cannot wait to see you then. And yeah, we'll talk soon. Bye.